G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and today I have an exciting collab that I'm doing with Katelyn McCaigue. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yep, because it sounds like a beer.
Cool. I wish my name was like a beer.
I know, I'm Irish, so it kind of fits. It just sounds like a beer, so.
That's amazing. For those of you who don't know Katelyn, she has an art channel where she does awesome character mashup, well actually creature mashups, monster mashups that we're gonna do together today. And she's doing one on her channel, so you can go see her channel with a link in the card and in the description. But in this video, she's going to be assigning me 3 animals or creatures that I'm going to take and turn into a monster, which should be interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. All right, hit me.
You know, you're from Australia, and Australia has some amazing biodiversity. So I thought I'd pick a full cast of Australian creatures for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So first off is...
Hey, hang on. If you've picked a platypus, I'm going to be mad because that's basically like 3 creatures in one. You have, haven't you?
No, I promise. I didn't pick the platypus. It was tempting.
Because that would be cheating. Because that's like
right. It's like here's a monster mash with another monster mash.
Exactly. It's not fair.
I almost did, but no. I got some better ones for you. First off, it's basically a living dinosaur, and it's an amazing bird. So first one I have for you is the Cassowary.
Ah, they're horrifying.
But they're pretty amazing too.
It'll be pretty easy to turn that into a horrifying monster so far. Keep going.
Right? All right. And then next up, I noticed you had, in Australia, there's so much amazing reptilian life. So I had to pick one that was just gorgeous, and I picked the Shingleback lizard.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got a lot of nice texturing going on.
Definitely.
And then finally, I'm glad you brought up the platypus because this one is somewhat related to the platypus because it's one of the few mammals that lays eggs, and it's the echidna.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So we're not constrained to the proportions of the creatures we're assigned, but the attributes of the creatures we're using and designing a horrifying monster.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. I'm pumped. This should be both a challenge and a fun experience. I'm excited. So we're gonna divide. You and I are gonna just split up now, end the Skype call, and make a creature, and we're gonna reconvene in a couple of hours and have a reveal. I guess this is goodbye for now, Katelyn.
Yeah. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Sounds good. Now, if you're not aware, Australia's wildlife is some of the most dangerous wildlife on the bloody planet. If you haven't seen our spiders and snakes, you'd be best not looking, because you won't be able to sleep for the next few bloody years. But lucky for you, you've got an experienced guide here in the form of your old mate Jazza, and we're going to take a look at some Australian wildlife and discover a horrifying Australian creature, even more terrifying than the wildlife we already bloody have. And that's a big call. Alright, so we have here the 3 creatures we were so graciously assigned. We have here on the left the Cassowary, or as we call them in Australia, the Cassowary dingy-doos. In the middle here we have the Shingleback lizard. Some people think it's called the Shingleback lizard because of its feet or face, but actually it's because of the shingle-shaped scales on its back. And then we have the little echidna, which has a defense mechanism of looking bloody adorable at the front and being bloody horrifying and painful for you at the back, which is a nice little addition there. I'd say the echidna is almost the definition of Australian wildlife. Oh, cute, I want to bloody touch it. Don't bloody touch it, you idiot! Alrighty, so enough of this bloody dilly-dally didgeridooing. Let's jump into it. Let's start off with the Cassowary. Now, obviously the most horrifying aspect of the bloody Cassowary is the bloody head right here. And when I say bloody, I don't actually mean blood, I mean bloody. Like, there's not actually blood, but it's a bloody Cassowary. So, I feel like I'm not making much sense here, but if you're Australian, you'd understand what I'm saying. And as you can see, the most horrifying part of these creatures are the faces. In particular, they've got these nice blue necks, a bit of a red thing here, and the most notable aspects of this are the dinosaur-like thingy at the top, got this nice sharp beak here, and some pretty scary looking eyes. And if you've never met a cassowary in person, you better bloody pray that you don't, because they are genuinely some of the most scary, horrifying animals in Australia, and if you see them in person and they look at you, it feels like they're staring deep into your soul, sapping it of its humanity, life, and love, and of course ready to attack you at a moment's notice. I know what you're thinking, it's just a bird with a pretty blue neck, I want to touch it. Don't bloody touch it! Welcome to Australia, you silly bastard. In fact, that's our slogan. Welcome to Australia. Don't bloody touch it! Next, let's move on to the shingleback lizard, or as we call them here in Australia, the shiddery dingle backy dack lizardy dizzard. If you haven't noticed, in Australia, we all talk a little bit like Ned Flanders, just with a lot less Christianity and a lot more of dickhead. Alright, no, in all seriousness, the shingleback lizard has an interesting feature about it, and that is that it has as a defense mechanism a tail that is a similar shape and form as its head, so that when creatures attack it, if it, let's say this bloody cassowary wants to take a nibble and thinks better get it by the head first so it doesn't, have a chance to live much longer, it'll attack the tail sometimes, and the shingleback lizard will have a chance to, I don't know, lick it or something. I mean, look at that tongue. That's, pretty horrifying tongue. And then the last creature, of course, is the echidna, and this is a bit of a no-brainer in terms of what we bloody well take and apply to our creature here. We're going to take these spikes all over its bloody back and throw it all over what we make. So without any further ado, we're going to take the head of the cassowary with, I suppose, a bit more of the body form of the bird-like creature, mixed with the mirror aspect of the head and tail of the shingery dingle backery dack lizardy dizzard, and the spikes of the echidna. Alright, this Australian impression is getting bloody old pretty bloody quick. I never get a chance to do this, so you're gonna have to bloody put up with it. Let's get started. So in getting started, I have my references to my left there, as you can see, and I follow their rough aesthetics to give me a bit of a guide, bit of a direction to follow, while I sketch around on the right. Now, this isn't going to be my final image, I'm just sort of playing, and I'm allowing myself to keep my strokes and pen work really loose, and as you can see, every now and then I think I'll try different proportions, stretch them out, and over time you'll see the shape of the creature take drastic transformations and make quick, rapid changes. For example, here you can see I'm trying it out with a long neck and tail. Didn't quite like that, but it didn't feel like it quite fit, so I bring them both in to be a bit shorter, and then do the same with the legs and go for a bit more of a stumpy look. Because while I'm going for a mix of all of the creatures, I still want it to look like it works cohesively and creates an interesting look, not just a weird look. I use my eyedropper tool to pinch some colours from my reference images on the left and paint them over here on the right on my character. Again, this is a really rough character, but once I put down my mix of colours from my original creatures into my new remade creature, I merge all of that together and shrink it down, and that becomes my new standalone reference for what will be my final image of the creature. This time, however, I take much greater care to create a pose and to work with the proportions in a way that's going to be appealing and create a dramatic look. My reference image that I'm working on, while it is the finished design, is a very flat looking pose, and I want to create an image that has a bit of drama, has a bit of scale to it, so it feels like we're looking up at a terrifying beast. Once I'm satisfied with the overall pose, proportions and perspective of the character, I make my sketch work much lighter, and I go in with a nice old ink pen and carefully go through and add all the lines and details onto the piece, adding a lot of fun little nooks and crannies and bits and bobs like broken bits of the horn and wrinkles on the skin, just jumping straight into it and adding all the details. I'm trying to go for a much more dinosaur type look, edging more on the lizard style of the proportions of the character, but really mixing a lot of the dramatic aspects of our cassowary. I've also gone with a bit of a wrinkled skin look on the underside of the creature's belly, which is again mimicking the neck of the cassowary. Once I'm happy with the line work of the creature, I go through with flat colours and clearly colour in what the areas of the character will be. Sometimes the colours blend into one another slightly, so I go in and do that a bit, but I don't really work with any tonal differences or variations, creating contrast or light and dark. I just really go in to lay down the flat tones, because then on a separate layer on top of this, I work with a flat black or near black dark brown colour and add in a whole bunch of shading and darker details. And once I've gone in and done that on an entire layer, I go in on a new layer on top and similarly add the highlights and the lighter areas and some in a near white colour, both of which are turned into more overlay style layers onto the colour, and then all of a sudden it very quickly becomes a three-dimensionally shaded coloured character. When I'm happy with the general shading of the creature, I then play around with the colours and the hues of the shadows and the highlights and tweak things, add a few final details and rim lighting to the character, and try and get an overall dusty texture and colour on the character so he looks like he comes from the middle of the Australian desert. Speaking of which, when I've finished with my colours, I go in and paint a very rough concept style of the Australian desert with Uluru right in the background. Now I think you'll agree, and it probably goes without saying, but when it comes to this creature, don't bloody touch it. All right, we're back. It's time for the bloody reveal, if you know what I bloody mean. So this is what you gave me. You gave me the cassowary, the shingleback lizard, and the not the porcupine, the echidna.
Yes.
I should know. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm pleased to present to you the Cassidnazard.
Oh my god, that's fucking sick.
Crikey, she's a big one. Bloody hell, it's a didgery duggly dooby doozy.
The only other one I can think of is like, Dingo ate my baby.
Cassidnazard ate my bloody baby. So this is the Cassowary echidna lizard. I couldn't fit in a shingleback thing in the name, but I thought the Zard works, because you know, like Charizard?
Yeah.
And then I had like a revelation. I realized that the Charizard, the Zard is like a lizard. And I also realized that Charmander is like Manda, salamander.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wow. I feel like...
Here, I'll blow your mind again. Charmeleon is like chameleon. They're all lizards.
Oh my! I mean, oh bloody hell! That's a bloody surprise if I ever heard one. All right. Well, anyways, as you can tell, I went with the head, mostly the head of the cassowary. I mixed it in with a bit of the lizard to have the tongue and the add a bit of thickness. Mm-hmm. Less of a beak. Kept the spikes of the echidna, and the body was sort of mixed between echidna and the cassowary. And I liked the colors of the cassowary, so I had a bit of fun with that. There you go, that's the result. Hope you enjoy it.
That's really cool. I was like, when I picked the monsters, I obviously thought of a certain combo in my head, but I never imagined this one. So it's really cool to see your take on it.
What did you imagine?
I was thinking more like sticking with the bird body and then have like the spines on its wings type of thing.
I was thinking about that sort of thing, but it didn't feel monstery enough. I wanted it to feel like it could crush like cars and houses and stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah, so, I love this one. I love it.
We're not done yet because Katelyn has a reveal on her channel, so the link is in the card and in the description. And once again, if you haven't checked out our stuff, she's an awesome illustrator, and it's been super fun doing this collab with her. And beyond that, I've had the pleasure of meeting her in person. She's a super awesome part of this community. So thank you so much for doing this collab with me, Katelyn.
Yeah, thanks. It was a lot of fun.
I guess that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen, and until next time, see you later.
Bye, guys.
Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind-the-scenes daily vlog channel, Daily JAZZA. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.